Hey, you okay?
Yo, what's up? I'm trying to get to the O2 Arena.
The O2 Arena?
Yeah.
I'm literally going there. Do you want to come with me?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Jump in!
Right. Let's go!
Sid, how are you?
I'm good, I'm here in London, having a good morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good to see you.
So, when I sort of last saw what you were doing, you were doing Coachella.
Yep.
So talk to me about that. How did it go? You fully represented us and your background. How did it feel in terms of that? Being able to represent your culture.
That makes me so happy that you say that. It felt great. This last year and a half of my career has been really interesting and fun because I've really kind of turned the focus to my own music.
Yeah.
And kind of platforming that and highlighting it. Mm-hmm. And Coachella was this really important moment for that. I think especially second weekend is when I really realized that I have this culture that I'm an ambassador of and these people that I'm an ambassador of, and it felt really just affirming.
You use the term hybridist.
Yeah.
I love that because I think this again reflects on the different sort of genres of music that you come from, so Carnatic, Western, and cinema.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite of each category, or is there something that you feel more drawn to in terms of the music space?
I feel like my life has just kind of been broken up into really immersing myself into different spaces.
Yeah.
So I was born into a family of Carnatic musicians. That kind of form feels like it is surrounded me my whole life, and it's really the engine that drives everything that I do. Still the thing that I practice the most, where I'll spend 2 hours every day practicing.
Yeah.
And then I got into R&B and soul and jazz and all of that when I was 7 or 8 growing up in the US. So when I got into that was the first time I found a form of music that wasn't Indian or from my culture that I still deeply resonated with. And that discovery was super important because I was I can exist in these different spaces, even just listening to music, you know what I mean? I used to be a kid walking around with my CD player. Do you ever own a CD player?
I think I've been born in that generation.
I just aged myself like crazy.
Yeah, you said CD player and I was wait, what?
Do you know what a Walkman is?
You caught me off guard there, I can't lie.
Well, I used to be in school walking around with the Walkman, and I used to always be the dude that, I would just have a different CD in my shit every day. And it was cool because it's what really allowed me to find my identity. Even before I knew I wanted to be doing music professionally, you know what I mean? Just listening and being in it. As I got older, that it really shaped the way I made music too. When I got into cinema stuff, which was 2012, over a decade ago now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip. I think about it sometimes whoa, life is
That's crazy.
Strange trip. Once I got into that space, it really kind of allowed me to express myself in a different way. Because in that space, as a playback singer, I'm not writing the music. There's other composers, and I'm bringing their songs to life. The term hybridist really came about in the last year. Me and my dad were up at 4 a.m. just being plotting. Came up with the phrase, and I feel like it really accurately depicts who I am right now because I'm able to kind of do all these different things, but still remain the same person all the time.
Well, your music definitely gets appreciated by so many different people as well.
Sure.
Especially when I came to that show, I was oh wow, there's actually a really a range of people.
Yeah.
And it's not that I wasn't expecting that, but actually I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. And I was wow, it just goes to show that you're really reaching different audiences.
Sure. It's just fire to know that you pulling up to that Earth show and you see the diverse crowds.
Yeah.
That's been a very new thing for me. That's been the last 2 years. Because up until then, all I was really doing was singing for movies.
Yeah.
I'd be making my own music, but kind of quiet. I didn't put that at the forefront. But this last year, just to kind of do these shows and see a diverse crowd pull up. So I'll get messages from non-Indian or non-Tamil people being yo, what was that one song that you did over there? And that's so cool to me because it literally feels like a cross-cultural bridge. My vision for the future is to just let that be the reference point of do these shows and take this music to everyone and just very honestly represent myself, because I think by doing that, it'll allow others to kind of feel like they can do the same for themselves.
100%, and not limit themselves to one category, isn't it?
Most definitely.
Sunshine covered in gold.
I haven't listened to this in a month.
I'm not ready for peace, yeah, deep in my soul. Voices scream, no, I'm not letting go. Hey, do the dance as we fall. Never know, it never was. Several moments pass and fade to camouflage. And we fall, not alone. As I fall back, bring back the street lights. I bought that for you. All that for you.
Can you like walk us through the timeline of Sid from when you started musical journey to now?
Yeah. I was born in Chennai. At the time when I was born in 1990, it was still Madras. My family moved to the States. When I was a year old in 91, we moved to California. And my mom, who is a Carnatic musician and she's my guru, she started her Carnatic music school in Fremont, in California in 92. So since I was 2 years old, I've been surrounded by that music. It was in the house all the time, and there's other kids coming over and learning and all that. I technically, I guess, started learning when I was 3, but my learning wasn't like formal, like sitting in classes. I always had my attention wasn't there for it. Listen and pick the music up. And I performed on stage for the first time when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
It was a school show that my mom was putting on. I insisted that I also wanted to go perform. I think my parents thought I would just get scared and chicken out. Yeah. But I loved it.
Oh wow.
And I sang a solo, just one song to kick the whole thing off. And I honestly don't remember that moment because I was 3 years old.
Yeah, 3 years old is way back.
It's super back. But I do know that that probably captured me immediately and I was just addicted to it.
Yeah.
You know? So Carnatic music formed the whole, I would say, first decade of my life. Until I was 10, that was all I was really listening to. That and Sriram music.
Did you listen to any
Western
US
music?
Yeah, Western music at all?
At first, not much. I mean, when I was really young, Disney movies and Aladdin and Lion King, musicals and just very movie-based music.
Yeah, but I guess it's also your parents are going to play what they're used to, so naturally you're going to be influenced by what they're listening to.
Most definitely. Once I got 7 or 8 years old, I started listening to the radio station. So it was Tamil music, cinema music, Carnatic music, and then various forms of R&B, soul, and hip hop.
Yeah.
I went to college at Berklee College of Music in Boston. And when I made the decision to go to college there, that's when I knew that music was going to be my career. In 2010, I sent Sriram an email.
I saw this in one of your interviews. I think that is insane. When people are shoot your shot.
For sure.
I think this is a prime example, guys, of why you should shoot your shot. You sent an email.
Yeah, and it was
that's mad.
I had a friend that was interning with him.
Yeah.
So I convinced him to give me his email. I sent him some of the music I'd been working on because when I was in college, I was putting out covers and some of my original stuff.
Yeah.
It was early shit, and I sent him an email with some of my stuff, and never thought he would actually respond. It was just kind of
shoot your shot, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I
yeah.
think my parents and just other friends who weren't at music school were kind of on my case at the time about yo, when you graduate, how are you going to make money?
They were putting you under pressure.
Most certainly. And one night I was just really frustrated. I was you know what I mean? So I was let me just send this email. And 10 days later, he responded.
Oh my God.
I didn't know if it was real or not. And then I got a call from his manager, and he just wanted to vet that I was, real deal. And then I got to speak with him. And fast forward 2 years from then, I met him for the first time and recorded Adiye.
Oh my God.
Literally changed my whole life.
That is insane. You probably look back and you're what would happen if you didn't send that email, you know?
Well, that's what confirms just God's timing and divine purpose and stuff. You know what I mean?
What sort of advice would you give to the younger audience or any independent artists trying to make their way up? Because you were once an independent artist, you know, and now you are where you are.
Yeah, I would say just a few different things. One, first is I think right now is such an exciting time for Tamil artists, for South Asian artists, globally. Because when I came into it, I was doing these experiments, and it was pretty clear back in 2011, 2012 that the world wasn't necessarily ready for it. Now, just in terms of even just me seeing what's going on in my career, just kind of peeping game, the world is not only ready, but it's necessary to have voices from our culture represented globally. First thing I would say is really just spend the time to understand what your voice is.
Yeah.
What your perspective is. And that's not just in the music, that's anything. The first time I saw your interviews, just it just showed up on my feed. And I was yo, this just feels so authentic and genuine and real. So I would say that's the first thing. Find your voice, find your perspective. Second is really embrace it. Don't try to water it down.
Yeah. I think, like, again, it shows through, like, your music and how you sort of portray yourself, but you never, that's literally the word that I'm looking for, you never water down where you've come from.
Sure.
That's where I'm like, wow, like, this man has really embraced his culture.
It took me a minute to get there, though.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, because, you know, like, sometimes I feel like it is hard, because you were brought up in the Western world as well, which, again, differentiates you, because it's kind of like identity crisis. I'm brought up in the Western world, but I'm listening and singing Carnatic music, and it's like, that's the thing. How did you sort of end up embracing it?
It was
because I think it is a hard journey from my opinion as well.
It's been a lifelong path, really. You know, like when I was a kid and I was in school, I would have deep identity crisis, even like through college. Not really now anymore, but early 20s and stuff. It was definitely present. I reached a point of so much more joy and internal peace when I stopped trying to like push away aspects of myself, or like say like, oh, I'm American now and Indian now, and like really can like split up my personalities. That was so tiring and it's like quite honestly depressing, you know what I mean? Like, because it takes so much, it's draining to code switch all the time. Obviously the pandemic hit.
Oh my god, this is welcome to the UK.
So I must say, I'm very impressed that you're able to like whip it like this and have a conversation like you're doing. You're pro with it. That's fine.
You know what it is?
I've been like noticing. I'm like, damn, like she's making the turns like effortless and still asking me questions. That's awesome.
You know what? Tell them I'm a good driver. Dad gets onto me and I'm like, listen, it's a skill that I've crafted now, you know?
No, you're fire. I mean,
Thank
like,
you.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I've never done like a car interview before, so I was like, damn, I wonder if it's gonna be nerve-wracking for me and if I'm gonna be like looking at to make sure we're not crashing. No, you're pro with it.
Listen, you're in safe hands.
I trust it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. She's a great driver.
Thank you. Yes. When you went to India a couple years back, and you recorded IDA and stuff, like, what was the sort of like trajectory from there onwards? Like, what happened and how did you sort of navigate making more music? And
sure, IDA came out and it was a pretty big hit, but I wasn't honestly getting that many phone calls. My voice at the time was so different and new for the industry, so I don't think people really knew what to do. So I was kind of like honestly confused and just like
the world wasn't ready. The world wasn't ready.
I will chalk it up to that, but I was just like really like, yo, what am I gonna do? You know, because in my mind, I was like, that song's gonna come out, my whole life is gonna change, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I expected. And I'm really glad it didn't happen, because that time of kind of like, it wasn't like hardship, but the time of things being lower from like 2012 to 2016 is the time I really took to practice a lot, you know, like master my craft to a certain level. And also just like humble myself too. I feel like if I'd blown up immediately, my head would have been huge. And like, I still had to like,
you still had to graft for what you have now, right?
Most definitely. So it was like those 4 years I spent doing that, and then 2016 Talipo Gade came out. Like I said, it kind of changed the whole trajectory. And from that point onwards, it was just kind of like one of these. Let's go. I haven't heard this song in a long time too.
I'm putting you on your own track.
Yeah, it's fun. Srivalli Kasturi Vasama Parva Karpura Dibama Srivalli Kasturi Vasama. There's your part.
Yeah, that's my bit. You know what I was going to say? I think it's so interesting because, well, a lot of people that I have on Jump In, actually, obviously they're UK independent artists or influencers or content creators. And a lot of the time I'm asking them, how are your parents feeling about it? Because, again, coming from like an Asian background, you know, your parents, but I think could you maybe like touch upon your experience with it? Because obviously your parents seem so supportive because they themselves, like your mum's a music teacher, so they're in that industry. So how did that sort of pan out and work?
In terms of me choosing this as my career path, they've been like the most supportive. Not only supportive, I feel like when I kind of like start to get complacent or a little lazy, I don't get lazy anymore, but when I would, they'd be the ones to be like, yo, like if you're gonna do this, we're really gonna do it.
What? But that
know.
must be so
The biggest
nice.
blessing.
I was gonna say it must
Yeah.
feel like such a blessing because that's not every day that happens at all.
Most
Like,
definitely.
oh, wow.
I used to get kind of like frustrated with this sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you know, like anyone, you got your moments where you want to cut yourself a little bit of slack.
yeah.
And they'd be the ones who be like, oh no, like you decided this, and we're and you know, like they're proud, but me and my folks always have this conversation. It still feels like we've only scratched the very surface of what I'm going to do in my life. You know what I mean? So like they're constant reminders, they're supporters, but they're also the ones that really push me. I haven't listened to this one in forever too. Wow.
Let me not even bang out my voice.
Come on, let's hear the high note.
That's all you. That's all you.
October 13th, we're coming to O2. I told you the story. I don't know if I can talk about it a whole bunch, but basically like 2013, 14, I was supposed to come here, and I had a little thing with immigration. I got sent back.
Yeah. Did you come and then they sent you back?
Yeah.
Nah, long.
Yeah,
long.
it was a whole, what does that mean if you say long?
Long means
Put me on.
I'm putting you on. Long means that's long. Like, that is just long.
Literally, okay,
that's
gotcha.
literally just long. Like, why did they have to do that? You came all the way only for them to send it. Oh,
I mean, it was a whole thing, but I mean, it's water under the bridge. It's fine. The Wembley show last year was my first time ever coming to London, first time performing here.
Yeah.
And that felt so special. I remember as the lights kind of came on and I could see the audience, there's a moment where I have video of it, I was just like peering out and just have this like look of just like being kind of awestruck, honestly.
Yeah.
But the show we're gonna do in October at O2 is, I think it's gonna really feel like a celebration of my whole journey so far.
100.
You know certain songs when you're recording it, you just know it's gonna like take. This was definitely one of them. This is my favorite part to play. And we go crazy when this one. It's so much fun.
I have a game for you, okay? Are you ready?
I hope so.
I hope you're ready.
I hope so.
You have been trying to use the British slang.
Yeah, I've been trying to like,
But I think I need to test you because I've heard you use a couple of words
You're like,
on the right, you know.
He's using it completely wrong.
I'm going to ask you if you know them. If you don't, you're going to tell me what you think it could mean.
Cool.
And if you want a clue, and then I can like use it in a sentence.
Easy, all right.
Okay, the first one, this is pretty easy, is peng.
Oh, I know what that one means. Like, that's like a beautiful woman. She's peng.
Yeah.
Or just beautiful or attractive.
Yeah, but like, try and use it in a sentence.
I just met this girl. She's peng. She's a peng ting. It's the way I'm saying it.
It's your accent.
I'm saying it all like blocky and shit.
Yeah, you're like, peng ting.
How you say it?
I'd be like, okay, but you can use it to describe other things. So I could just use it to describe food.
Like a sandwich?
Yes, I could be like, yo, this sandwich is peng.
Okay, cool.
You know when I say it's good, it's good.
Yeah, you got the swag with it. I said a hella square. I got it.
Bait.
Bait?
Bait.
Is it spelled B-A-I-T?
Yeah.
Clue, please.
That person's bear bait.
Bear, hella. I know that means that. Bait. Not trustworthy.
No.
Tired? Can you use it in like another sentence?
Okay, yeah. You must know that person, they're so bait. You're bait.
I'm bait?
You're bait.
Super cool.
You wish. You're known. Like super bait. Like
is it like
popular.
as like in a positive way?
Yeah, like you.
Okay.
I guess it depends how you use it, but
Or
it can
like
be.
they're known to be like not cool.
No.
They're bare bait. Stay away from them.
Terpsing.
What? Chirpsing?
Terpsing.
God, I have no clue.
Terpsing.
Like spelled like CHIRP.
SING. Yeah.
Like singing? Like chirping?
That guy is trying to chirps that girl.
Oh, okay. Like flirting?
Yeah, like trying to
Like talk to.
Trying to like move.
I'm trying to holler at you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Holler. Cool. Moist.
Like really good cake?
Don't do that. That's moist. That's actually moist.
Oh, don't do that. That's like not cool.
Yeah. Okay. Butters.
Butters?
You You know what? The way you say it just sounds so like rigid. That guy over there is butters.
One other sentence.
Okay. That meal that I ate earlier was butters. I'm still hungry.
Very minimal.
You know what? 10 out of 10 for effort, but it means like,
good.
Gross. Gross.
Butters.
That's butters.
That was
butters.
Gross. That dude that just walked by.
Butters.
He caught a stray. He was going about his day just trying to get to work, and he just called him out.
Bro was just chilling and I'm like, yeah, you're butters. Well, I think your English slang, it could do with some improving, but it's not too bad.
I'll keep learning.
Is
it another game?
It is another game. Do you like the games?
Yeah.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
Spicy confessions.
Oh, what?
If you don't answer, you're gonna have to bite this chili.
Oh, no. Wait, if I don't answer. If I answer all of my... Because I'll be honest with you. Spicy shit gets my acid reflux going. So that means I'm gonna have to be hella honest. Don't ask anything crazy. Don't be putting me in positions now. I'm gonna fake bite that if I don't answer, because that will set me off. I got shows coming up. I gotta stay ultra healthy.
The flight back home is gonna be crazy.
No.
What is the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
Oh, that I have a son. But here's an explanation. There's a video that I had where like I'm teaching this little kid how to sing certain things.
Yeah.
And people just assumed that was my kid. And this was like from like 5-6 years. At least it happened now. It's like age-wise, it's a little bit more believable. This happened when I was like 25, which is also, I guess, like, you know, some people have kids at that age. But yeah, they thought that was my kid. So like a publication started like reporting that. Just like a couple, not a lot. It didn't like get like hella like that. So that's the craziest one. With rumors, the best way to deal with them is just not even give them attention.
Yeah, facts.
Because if you like acknowledge it, then people are like, oh, he's being defensive.
You know
the
what
kid
it
did
is?
kind of look like that.
Wait, can I see? Do you have a video?
It says Sid Sriram guiding his child prodigy. That's what got people confused.
But Loki does look like your kid. What is a red flag that you have within yourself?
I've been ghosting people, and I know this about me too, and I'm trying to get better.
It gets like that. It actually gets like that.
And like, I don't even do it. It's not like, haha, I'm just gonna like ghost.
Yeah.
Things will come up, and like, I'll just forget, and then I'll forget that I forgot, and then it'll just like be weeks.
I think that's okay though.
It's okay sometimes,
to an extent.
but I've realized, and this is something I'm trying to correct about myself, it's just like, just communicate.
Yeah.
Just be like, yo, sorry, this is what it is, I can't make it, or whatever, you know what I mean? I think that's a red flag about myself that I'm really trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
And I know it, so.
Character development.
We're working.
Good. What is a dream collab that you have?
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick, for sure, and I want my part to be in Tamil.
Oh my god, that would just slap much.
It would turn the whole world around, for real.
It would be sick.
And I'm on the mission for sure. So, you know, next 1 or 2 years.
You guys, keep watching, yeah?
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. What is a funny or like memorable fan story?
I would say like the funniest one, and at the time I had a show in Hyderabad in like 2021. Mm-hmm. And like a dude came up on stage.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice, and my band members were all like kind of like pointing to the front of the stage. But then he just came on and he like grabbed my feet.
What?
But like I think he was like trying to get blessings, you know what I mean?
What?
Yeah, and the bouncers were like, my security were like side stages, kind of like, it was a very heartwarming kind of moment.
Yeah.
But they didn't move on it fast enough, and then they got on stage. And the dude was fine, like no one was like hurt or whatever. But that was probably like the most interesting fan thing that happened.
A secret your mum doesn't know.
Oh, no. Here. Took a little bite.
Your acid reflux is gonna go crazy.
It's all good. I just like got a little bit of it. It's cool. Secrets to stay within myself.
I see some teardrops coming down.
No, I'm cool. It's calm.
It's calm. It's
Right,
calm.
right?
It's calm. That's good. What has been your favorite moment in this journey?
Like our journey today? Like in the car? Or like journey of life?
You can do both.
These different points in my career, in my life, that have just been like real magical points. Like meeting A.R. Sir was the first one. Re-established and confirmed my belief in like one divine power and magic. That meeting Justin Vernon for the first time. So Bon Iver has been a band that I've been a fan of since I was in college. Justin was actually the producer who produced my album, Siddharth. And that Wembley show, that was July of last year. He just like reminded, like, you're on the right path. And here, this is what you have to show for it. The energy in that room that night was crazy.
Insane.
I could take a step back and be like, you're really doing this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like O2 is going to be the same way in October.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those like 3 moments, we can go with those.
Oh, okay, love that. Well, that's it. It's been so
amazing.
good.
Thank you for, I know we've been trying to do this. You're fired. This has been the
Thank you.
chillest conversation that I've had. Except
Good.
for the one little bit.
Oh,
of shit
dash
we
that,
had.
dash that. Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it. We have been trying to plan it for some time. It's been
sure.
going so bad. Our dates just didn't align, but,
Here
you
we
know,
are now.
divine timing.
Let's go.